Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by to share in Reiki time and free for all questions or cards of the day after that. It is April 6th at 1:41 Mountain Time here in the United States. And what we're going to start with is 5 minutes of Reiki. And I am going to set the intention on this Reiki to do whatever will benefit each of you the most as individuals. If you have something specific that you would like the Reiki to focus on, feel free to go ahead and adjust that intention. For those of you who are catching this broadcast after the fact, please know all you have to do is set the intention to receive the Reiki, and you can get just as much benefit from it as you would if you were here during the time that I was actually transmitting it. Okay, so let's just get started. All right, so we started Reiki at 42 after the hour, so we're going to finish it up at 47 after the hour. Hello there, Manuela. Glad to see you here, my dear. Maria Almeida, hey, 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 you're quite welcome. Tammy Hodges, glad to see you back in the room. I think that the Reiki helps a lot of people, so I want to keep doing the Reiki. That'll probably be the first video that I make every day if I make multiple videos in a day. Ricky, hello, hello. Glad to see you here. Tiffany James, hello, hello. Glad to see you guys. Yesterday I did Reiki and 0 people showed up, so this is nice. I don't feel so lonely this morning. Or this afternoon, I should say. Kelsey Rice, hello, hello. Glad to see you here. Gemma Croft Baker, hello, hello. Oh, whoever gave me the thumbs up already, thank you, thank you. Those of you who don't mind, please share. We still have 4 more minutes of Reiki. And this is a great time to talk about Reiki. If you guys have questions about the Reiki, if you're noticing sensations in your body as we're transmitting the Reiki out to you, or as I am, then, and if you have questions about it, go ahead and pop them into chat. Froggy, oh my goodness. Glad to see you, honey. It's been a while. How you doing? We're doing Reiki right now. We've got I'm not sure how many minutes. I think 4 more minutes left. Yeah, 4 more minutes left is right. No energy to go anywhere. I'm sorry to hear that, honey. You're working more? Oh, gotcha. Well, that's a good thing. That means that the wallet's a little fatter, hopefully. The Reiki actually has its own intelligence because remember, it is universal life force energy. And so it's aware of all things life sustaining, life giving, life creating. So if there are blockages in that energy, the Reiki's aware of that. It goes in and just zeroes in on it. That's what I love about Reiki. It's foolproof. I don't have to know what the root of your issues are. I just tell the Reiki, sick 'em, and it goes in for those. Have you guys heard of sick 'em? Sick 'em is an old phrase. Actually, I haven't heard it in a long time, but if you have a dog and he's a working dog or she's a working dog, and you want him to go after something, you just say, sick 'em, and off the dog will go and do its job. And that's how the Reiki is. You set the intention and off it goes and does its job. It does include illness, yes. A lot of times people will actually do like an energy scan whenever you've got a person that you're doing Reiki. Sometimes I like to do an energy scan, especially if they're in person in front of me. And that'll show me where there's disturbances in the energy. That's just more of like an indicator of where you want to focus. You know, but the Reiki goes straight for it, whether you know what it's doing or not. Are you talking about just whenever you're receiving the Reiki, Manuela, or all the time? You just came in from playing with the dog, and here we are talking about dogs. Chills and tingling up your spine. Oh, ho, ho. Okay, so chills and tingling up the spine. The spine has a lot to do with, you know, how we have that saying, that person doesn't have any backbone. That's somebody who can't really stand up for themselves very easily, or stand up for, like, if they're a supervisor, they don't stand up very much for their people under them. So when we have something going on with our backbone, it's really strengthening our ability to stand up for ourselves in situations where it's appropriate. Manuela, tell me about the hands being numb and tingling. Does that happen to you only whenever Reiki is going on, or does that happen to you all the time? Hello there, 36 Mars Bar. Glad to see you in the room, honey. Welcome, welcome. The chills are generally you releasing some negative energy, Ricky. Like if you've been holding a grudge or holding on to some hurt or some pain, generally that has to do with releasing some of that energy. Ah, well, that makes sense with the backbone then, huh? Right? Manuela, I'm still waiting for an answer to my question, honey. Okay, so it only happens during Reiki, or it happens all the time. That's what I'm waiting to hear. We're going to go a little over on our Reiki because I want to finish this conversation with Manuela before we get into all the craziness that I know will ensue whenever I open up the floor for the next part of the session. All the time. Manuela, what I'm going to tell you, if this is happening all the time, that this is something you may want to check out with your doctor. You may have some kind of nerve issue. Now, obviously, I am not a doctor. I can't make any diagnosis. But if that's happening all the time, you want to rule out that you have anything physical actually making that happen. You know, because if we just assume that it's something that's spiritual and we ignore it and it is a physical issue, then, you know, we're giving that physical issue time to grow, and we don't want to do that. Reiki is something that we use in conjunction with doctors, not something that we use to the exclusion of doctors. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and close out the Reiki. And we're going to open up the floor now for free for all questions or card of the day. We'll take those for 5 minutes. And then after that, I have to see what other kind of trouble I can get into today. COD for Gemma Croft Baker. We're going to start with Lynn Ormond. You must have a fast connection, Gemma. You usually end up being the first person in the door whenever I open this up. You're going to have an MRI on the 12th. Is that about your hands and stuff? Gemma Croft Baker, Lenormand. Your house card is the book. The book can talk about higher learning or education. It can also talk about secrets, occult, spiritual stuff, mystical things. And then let's see what your cover card is. You got the letter. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Jimacroft Baker. This could be that you're testing, you're taking some kind of test on something that new that you have learned. But actually, I feel like for you, how this more applies would be about that you are receiving a message that is coming from an occult source. So an occult source would be, an energy, a spirit, something like that. Receiving some kind of message from someone who's on the other side, not necessarily on our plane. Not on our plane, let's say that. That's what I have for you, Miss Gemma. I hope that makes sense for you within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours. Kelsey Rice needs a COD. And then Mars Bars in the batter's box. Kelsey. You do have the Wheel of Fortune. This just tells me that you have come through a particularly trying time, and the tide is turning. Things are starting to work better for you. If you have not noticed that within the past 24 hours, expect that within the next 24 hours, Ms. Kelsey Rice. 36 Mars Bar. 36 Mars Bar. 36 Mars Bar. Card of the day for 36 Mars Bar, 9 of Pentacles. This just means one of two things. Either you're missing someone, or you're not as secure financially as you would like to be. Maybe even a combination of those. That's for Mars Bar. Thank you for the heart, Ms. Maria. Tiffany James, how do you strengthen your connection with spirit? Same way you strengthen your connection with anybody else. Communication, communication, communication. And do things together. Let's see what comes up on the cards for advice for Miss Tiffany James. Okay, so Tiffany, the first bit of advice says look for the untapped potential. Look for new things to try, to experiment with whenever you're interacting with spirit. The second thing that comes up says don't let your emotions rob you of your objectivity. If you're not feeling objective, you're not going to be able to connect very well to spirit. And then the other thing is relax, trust, know that spirit is there. Even on the days that you're having a hard time connecting, spirit isn't. Spirit's right there. Just waiting until you can get your stuff together. Okay, so that's your advice, my dear. Hope that makes sense for you. Froggy needs a COD. Let's go to the Druidcraft. You're quite welcome, Jimacroft Baker. You needed it badly? Well, I'm glad you made it. Oh, I see, Manuela, not the same thing. It is both. Okay. Thank you for the verification, honey. You're quite welcome, Tiffany James. Glad that makes sense for you. Okay, Froggy's card coming right up. Six of Swords in reverse is what you have this morning, Miss Froggy. So Six of Swords in reverse. What I'm hearing is you're making some kind of lifestyle change. When I'm talking about lifestyle change, this can be anything from dropping the cigarettes or the 420 to exercising more, eating better, I had this come up one time for a person who quit their job because the commute was too long. And so they were going to a new job where the commute was shorter. But there's some type of lifestyle change happening here. And so a lifestyle change, bottom line, that just means that you're doing something to improve the quality of your life right now, and possibly also to improve the amount of time you'll actually be walking around on the planet. I hope that makes sense for you, Ms. Froggy. And my timer went off. I had the phone on silent so that it wouldn't disturb disturb me if it started ringing. So the timer's off, so no more CODs or questions. La da da da. Ilsa Wenzel, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you in the room, my dear. You're quite welcome, sweetheart. I love you too. I love all of you. You guys are so much fun. Thank you for hanging out with me, keeping me company, keeping me fresh and on my toes. I really do appreciate seeing all of you in the room. Everyone, have a fantastic, wonderful, and thrilling day, and I'll see you guys all the next time. Peace out. Oh, you just started a diet and watching what you ate last Friday. Gotcha. You're quite welcome, quite welcome. Peace out, everybody.